My wife said, "My gym trainer makes me feel so alive. You could learn something from him." I replied, "You're right," then sent the trainer a thank you basket for all those private sessions at our home. His wife opened it at the gym and beat him senseless, then found my wife in the parking lot. All right, Reddit, buckle up because this one's a wild ride. My wife told me I should learn from her gym trainer because he made her feel so alive, so I sent him a thank you basket. His wife, a professional kickboxer by the way, opened it in front of the whole gym. Here's how that played out. I, 36 male, own a construction company in a small town in North Carolina. Been building houses here for 15 years. Started as a framing carpenter right out of high school and worked my way up. Got my own crews now, decent reputation, the whole deal. Not flashy, but I've built something real. My truck's a 2019 F-150 that I bought used from a retired contractor who maintained it like it was his firstborn. Thing's got 60,000 miles and runs like new. Spent my first weekend with it installing a toolbox in the bed and upgrading the sound system because the stock speakers made everything sound like it was playing through a tin can. Got a dog too. German Shepherd named Duke. Had him since he was a puppy, found him abandoned at a job site 6 years ago and couldn't leave him there. Now he's 80 pounds of loyalty, who sleeps at the foot of my bed and judges everyone who comes through my front door. Spoiler alert, he never liked Emma's gym friends. My wife Emma, 34 female, and I had been married for 10 years. Met her at a friend's cookout back when I was still swinging hammers for someone else. She was a marketing coordinator at some tech company, had this energy about her that made you feel like you were the only person in the room when she talked to you. We clicked immediately. Her laugh was the first thing I noticed. This genuine, unfiltered laugh that made everyone around her smile. She wasn't trying to impress anyone, or at least that's what I thought back then. For the first 7 years, things were solid. We bought a house, fixed it up together, built a life. She'd bring me coffee on job sites. I'd surprise her with weekend trips. Normal married stuff. Good married stuff. I remember this one weekend, maybe year 3 of our marriage, when we drove up to the mountains just because she mentioned wanting to see the leaves change. Didn't plan it, just went. Stayed at this little cabin, hiked during the day, made dinner together at night. She said it was the happiest she'd ever been. Looking back, I wonder if that was even true, or if she was already thinking about someone else. Then she joined Titan Fitness. It started about 8 months ago. Emma decided she wanted to get serious about fitness. Fine, whatever, healthy hobby. She signed up for personal training sessions with this guy, Brandon. At first, it was normal gym talk. Brandon showed me this new exercise. Brandon says I should eat more protein. Standard stuff. But then it became every conversation. Brandon this, Brandon that. Brandon thinks I should try harder. Brandon says most husbands don't understand their wives' fitness journeys. Brandon has such great energy. Brandon really listens. Brandon thinks I have so much potential. Brandon says I'm one of his most dedicated clients. Every dinner, every weekend, every quiet moment we used to share, now polluted with his name. She started dressing different too. New workout clothes that cost more than my power tools. Lululemon everything. Hair done before going to the gym, which makes 0 sense if you think about it. Who gets their hair styled before sweating? Duke noticed the changes before I did. He'd been sleeping at the foot of our bed for 6 years. But around month 4 of Brandon, he started sleeping in the hallway instead. Dogs know things. They sense when the energy in a house shifts. My buddy Derek, he's my construction foreman and we've been tight since high school, noticed it before I wanted to admit it. "Bro, your wife mentioned that trainer like 6 times at dinner last week," he said one day while we're framing out a bathroom. "That's weird, right? That's not just me? She's just excited about working out," I said. "It's a phase." "Yeah, and my ex-wife's yoga retreat was just a phase too, until I found out the yoga instructor's name was Steve, and the only pose they were doing was horizontal." Derek's been divorced 3 years now. His ex left him for her spiritual advisor, who turned out to be a 28-year-old personal trainer she met at, you guessed it, a gym. So he's got some experience with this particular brand of betrayal. I told him to shut up. But the seed was planted. Looking back, the signs were everywhere. I just didn't want to see them. The late-night gym sessions that ran past closing time. Titan Fitness closes at 10 p.m. She'd roll in at 11:30, sometimes midnight, smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. When I asked, she said they have special late sessions for dedicated clients. The new lingerie that never showed up in our bedroom. Found the receipts. Victoria's Secret. Over $300. When I tried to initiate things one night, she said she was too tired from her workout. But that lingerie definitely went somewhere. The way she'd take phone calls in the garage, whispering about training schedules and personal goals. Duke would follow her and sit outside the door, whining. Even he knew something was wrong. Her phone habits changed completely. She used to leave it on the kitchen counter, didn't care if I saw it. Now it was always face down. Password changed. Notifications turned off. She'd take it into the bathroom with her, which she'd never done in 10 years of marriage. She started criticizing everything I did. The way I loaded the dishwasher, the way I folded towels, the fact that I came home tired from work instead of wanting to go out every night. You used to be more fun, she'd say. You used to make me feel special. I built you a deck last month, I'd point out. With my own hands, on my days off. That's not what I mean, Jake. You don't get it. Then explain it to me. I shouldn't have to explain it. If you don't understand by now, you never will. Classic. The you should just know argument. No actual communication. Just blame. She was right about one thing, though. I didn't get it. Not yet. Mrs. Patterson is my neighbor. She's been on that porch for 40 years, watching every marriage, every affair, every scandal in this neighborhood unfold in real time. Nothing happens on this street without her knowing about it. She's got this whole system. Sits on her porch with her reading glasses, which I'm pretty sure are actually binoculars in disguise, and monitors all activity within a 3-block radius. She knows who's getting deliveries from where, whose car is parked in whose driveway, and exactly how long the mailman spends chatting with the widow on the corner. Duke actually likes her. She keeps dog treats in her pocket and slips him one whenever we walk by. For the intel, she says with a wink, that dog would sell me out for a milk bone. Her late husband Harold was a cop for 30 years. According to Mrs. Patterson, she learned more about surveillance from him than any police academy could teach. Harold said the best investigations are the ones where the suspect never knows they're being watched, she told me once. And dear, I've been watching this street since before you were born. One Wednesday afternoon, she calls me over to the fence while I'm fixing our back deck. Jacob, dear, she says, adjusting her bifocals. I saw that lovely Instagram story from Titan Fitness yesterday. Your Emma looked very close with her trainer. She shows me her phone. The gym's official account posted workout videos. And there's my wife in the background of one, laughing while Brandon's hands guide her through a stretch that looks more like foreplay than physical therapy. The comments are even better. Maya, Emma's best friend. Get it, girl. Lisa, another gym regular. That trainer is so attentive. Lucky you. I screenshot everything before handing the phone back. Thanks, Mrs. Patterson. Very educational. She pats my arm. You know, dear, my late husband Harold used to say the best way to catch a rat is to let it think it's smarter than you. Just lay out the cheese and wait. Then she drops the real bomb. That trainer's been to your house twice while you were at work. Just thought you should know. My blood ran cold, but I kept my face calm. Appreciate the heads up, Mrs. Patterson. Anytime, dear. Anytime. That night, Emma's picking at her salad while scrolling through her phone, barely looking at me. You should learn from Brandon, she says out of nowhere. He's such a good listener. Really engaged, you know? Present. I'm present, I say. I'm sitting right here. Physically, maybe. But when's the last time you really focused on me? When's the last time you made me feel special? I want to ask, when's the last time she made me feel like anything other than a paycheck with legs? But I don't. Instead, I smile. You're absolutely right. I should definitely send Brandon a thank you basket. Show him how much I appreciate all the extra attention he gives you. She freezes. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing at all. Just being grateful. Tomorrow, I'm sending the most beautiful fruit basket to Titan Fitness, thanking him for all the personal training he provides at our home. The color drains from her face. At our home? What are you talking about? He's never been here. Then I guess there's nothing to worry about, is there? She didn't sleep well that night. I slept like a baby. Thursday morning, I drive to the nicest gift shop in town. The basket cost me $200, but it's worth every penny. Imported chocolates, exotic fruits, gourmet snacks, and a card that reads, Dear Brandon, thank you for all the personal attention you give to my wife, especially during your private sessions at our home. Your dedication to her individual needs is truly above and beyond. Gratefully yours, Jake Calloway. I have it delivered to Titan Fitness at 11 a.m., right during peak hours. By noon, my phone's blowing up. Derek's texting me. Bro, get to Memorial Hospital. Now. I find Derek in the emergency room waiting area, barely containing his laughter. Your boy Brandon is getting stitches. What happened? His wife Nicole opened that basket right in front of him at the gym. You know Nicole's a professional kickboxer, right? I did not know that. She read that card very carefully, Derek continues. Brandon's got a black eye, a split lip, and what the nurses are calling defensive wounds on his arms. Nicole threw a 45-pound weight at his head before security dragged her out. Where's Emma? That's the best part. Derek's grinning now. She rushed to the hospital to check on her trainer. Dead giveaway, by the way. and Nicole cornered her in the parking lot. Your wife's got some bruises on her arms. Nothing serious, but Nicole made it very clear that if she ever sees Emma again, the conversation won't be so friendly. I drove home feeling better than I had in months. Emma's car is in the driveway. I can hear her crying before I even open the door. Duke meets me at the entrance, tail between his legs. He knows something's wrong. He always knows. She's at the kitchen table, ice pack on her arm, mascara streaked down her face. There's a bruise forming on her shoulder, too. Oh, honey, I say, with exaggerated concern. What happened? You look like you got hit by a truck. Or maybe a professional athlete. This isn't funny, Jake. That woman is psychotic. She attacked me. Who attacked you? Nicole, Brandon's wife. She got the wrong idea about something. What kind of wrong idea? Her eyes dart away. She thinks Brandon and I are having some kind of affair, which is ridiculous. He's my trainer, that's all. I sit down across from her. Take my time. Let the silence build. Well, that is ridiculous. Why would she think that? Just because her husband is giving private training sessions to a married woman at the woman's house while her husband is at work? That's completely innocent. He's never been to our house. Really? Mrs. Patterson saw his car here twice. Her face flickers, just for a second. But I catch it. She's mistaken. She's old. Her eyesight isn't good. Her eyesight is fine when she's watching this street. Trust me. Jake, I don't know what you think you know, but then why did I write that in the card? The ice pack slips from her hand. What card? The one with the thank you basket I sent to Brandon, expressing my gratitude for all his personal attention, especially during those private home sessions. She goes through about 5 colors. White, red, green, back to white. You didn't. $200. Worth every penny. Jake, you have to fix this. Call Nicole. Explain it was a mistake. What mistake? I was just being a grateful husband. You're trying to ruin my life. I sent a fruit basket. Everything else was your choice. Duke walks over and sits next to me. Even the dog's picking sides now. Over the next few days, the story spreads through town like wildfire. In a place this small, gossip is the main form of entertainment. Maya calls me directly on Saturday morning. Emma's best friend since college, always gave me dirty looks at parties, never thought I was good enough for her precious Emma. Jake, what did you do? I sent a fruit basket. Is that illegal now? Nicole Brooks is telling everyone that Emma and Brandon were having an affair. She's posting about it on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. She tagged Emma's boss. That sounds like a Nicole problem, not a Jake problem. You're being a real jerk about this. I'm being a husband who appreciates good customer service. She hangs up on me. I consider it a win. According to the church ladies, who told Mrs. Patterson, who told me, Emma and Brandon were caught in a compromising position at the gym. Nicole beat them both senseless. And I'm either the dumbest husband in town or the smartest. I prefer the second interpretation. By Sunday, the story has mutated into something resembling a soap opera. Apparently, Brandon and Emma were caught in the sauna together, or in the parking lot, or in the equipment room. Depends on who's telling it. The details don't matter. What matters is that everyone knows. Monday morning, Emma comes downstairs in a business suit instead of workout clothes. Face grim. I've been suspended from work, she announces, pending an investigation. What kind of investigation? Someone sent screenshots of Nicole's Facebook posts to HR, posts that mention me by name and make certain allegations about my character. I pour myself a cup of coffee. That's terrible. Who would do such a thing? I think we both know who. I don't have a Facebook account. You know that. It's technically true. I don't. But Mrs. Patterson does. And she's been very helpful in making sure the right people see the right information at the right time. Amazing what you can accomplish with a fruit basket and a 73-year-old woman who's been waiting her whole life to be part of a real scandal. I want a divorce, Emma says that Monday night. Okay. Okay? That's it? What do you want me to say? If you're not happy, you're not happy. She wasn't expecting that. She was expecting me to fight, to beg, to promise counseling. Instead, I'm agreeing, and it's throwing off her entire strategy. I'll be staying at Maya's, she says, until we figure out the details. That's probably for the best. I'll have my lawyer draw up papers. Your lawyer? You already have a lawyer? I've had one since Tuesday, right after I sent the basket. Amazing how much paperwork is involved in expressing gratitude. The color drains from her face again. She's starting to realize she's been playing checkers while I've been playing chess. Here's what Emma didn't know. I'd been documenting everything for 2 months. GPS tracker in her car, installed it under the pretense of fixing a brake problem. Every trip to Brandon's townhouse, logged. Voice-activated recorder in her gym bag. Hours of intimate conversations captured. Credit card statements showing charges at restaurants and hotels on days she claimed to be at work. My lawyer, Greg Patterson, No relation to Mrs. Patterson, but equally helpful, laid it all out. She's reaching with a restraining order request, he said, reviewing the papers Emma's lawyer filed. You never made direct accusations, never threatened anyone. You just sent a gift with a thank you note. What about the spousal support demand? Greg grinned. That's where it gets interesting. Turns out your wife's suspension isn't just about Facebook drama. There have been questions about her expense reports, her use of company resources for personal matters, and her relationship with a certain coworker. Name's Kevin Mitchell, works in her department. They've been having some very long lunches for the past 6 months, so Brandon wasn't the only one. Not even close. Your wife's been running a whole operation. Thursday evening, Mrs. Patterson calls me over with the excitement of someone who's discovered buried treasure. Jacob, you have to see this. Nicole Brooks has posted something extraordinary. She shows me her laptop. Nicole's written a novel-length Facebook post documenting everything. Screenshots of texts between Brandon and Emma, photos of them at restaurants and hotels, credit card record, a detailed timeline going back 4 months. And at the end, she tags everyone. Emma, Brandon, Kevin Mitchell, Maya, Lisa, Emma's boss, and half the town. Oh, and Jacob, Mrs. Patterson adds with a wicked smile. She posted your original thank you card. She thinks it's hilarious that you figured everything out before she did. By Sunday, the post has been shared 200 times. Emma's phone number somehow ended up in the comments. Monday morning, Greg's office, wood-paneled walls, leather chairs, the kind of place that smells like old money and legal fees. Emma shows up looking like she hasn't slept in days. Hair unwashed, clothes wrinkled, face puffy. No makeup, which is unusual. She never left the house without at least mascara. The Emma I married would never have shown up to a meeting looking like that. Maya and Lisa are conspicuously absent. Guess they decided to distance themselves from the sinking ship. Fair weather friends. Her lawyer, Sarah Williams, aggressive reputation, scorched earth approach, looks like she'd rather be anywhere else. Built her career on intimidation, but there's no intimidating your way out of this situation. My client is prepared to agree to an uncontested divorce, Williams begins. 50-50 split, waive alimony, quick resolution. Greg slides a document across the table. That's not going to work. Emma reads the terms and goes white. Complete financial disclosure of all affairs. Written admission of adultery with multiple partners. Forfeiture of any claim to the house, business, or retirement accounts. And a signed statement acknowledging that all her allegations against me were false. This is ridiculous, Williams says. You're asking her to destroy herself. I'm asking her to tell the truth. Something she should have tried 3 months ago. Emma speaks for the first time, voice barely above a whisper. What if I don't sign? Greg opens another folder, spreads out photographs, credit card statements, GPS data, recorded conversations, the works. Then we go to court, and all of this becomes evidence. Your affairs with Brandon Brooks and Kevin Mitchell, your financial fraud, your plan to file false abuse charges. Everything becomes public record. Williams reviews the evidence for a long 10 minutes. I watch her face change as she realizes how deep this goes. The GPS data showing every visit to Brandon's townhouse. The voice recordings from the gym bag. The credit card statements showing romantic dinners on nights Emma claimed to be working late. You were recording me? Emma's voice cracks. Documenting suspicious behavior by his spouse, Greg says smoothly. All perfectly legal under North Carolina law. One-party consent state. Williams leans over and whispers to Emma. I can't hear the words, but I see Emma's shoulders slump. Whatever fight she had left just drained out. They asked for time to consider. I gave them until 5 p.m. At 4:30, they came back with signed documents. Emma admitted everything. The affairs, the misused funds, the false statements about my character. She gave up any claim to property or support. One more thing, I said as she finished signing. I want you to know I never actually suspected affairs were happening at our home. That was just creative writing for the card. She looked up with red, swollen eyes. Then how did you know? GPS tracker in your car, voice recorder in your gym bag, credit card monitoring, bank account alerts. I've known about everything for 2 months. Why didn't you just confront me? I stood up and buttoned my jacket. Feel lighter than I had in months. Because confrontation would have given you a chance to lie your way out of it. This way, you destroyed yourself. William starts to object, but Greg cuts her off. The documents are signed. We're done here. Duke's waiting when I get home. He knows something good happened. Dogs always know. Tuesday night, Rusty's Diner. Best burgers in town and the only place open past 9. I'm celebrating with Derek and the guys from work. Couple of framers, an electrician, my project manager. Good people. Real people. We're halfway through our meal when Kevin Mitchell walks in. Small guy, 140 soaking wet, Thick glasses, soft hands. Never done physical labor in his life. Works some office job where people have meetings about meetings. He spots me immediately and walks over like a man who's made a very bad decision. Jake Calloway? That's me. We need to talk. Derek and the boys start to get up, but I wave them down. Sure, Kevin, have a seat. He stays standing, fists clenched. Wouldn't intimidate a middle schooler. You destroyed an innocent woman's life. Did I? Which innocent woman? Emma never meant to hurt anyone. She was confused, lonely. You drove her to it with your neglect. I take a slow sip of my coffee. Study his face. He genuinely believes this. Emma fed him the same lies she tried to feed everyone else. Kevin, how long were you sleeping with my wife? We weren't sleeping together. We were in love. Ah, yes. Love. Makes adultery so much more romantic. His face goes red. You don't understand. She was trapped in a loveless marriage with a man who didn't appreciate her. She needed someone who could see her worth. And you were that someone? I was trying to be. I stand up. Even though Kevin's probably 10 years younger, I've got 6 inches and 50 pounds on him. Construction work keeps you strong. Kevin, let me explain something. Emma wasn't trapped. She was a married woman who decided to cheat with multiple men while spending my money and lying about my character. The fact that you fell for her sob story doesn't make you a hero. It makes you a fool. You're wrong about her. Am I? Did she mention she was also sleeping with her personal trainer? Or did she leave that out of her tragic story? His expression wavers. First crack in the armor. Derek slides his tablet across the table, showing Nicole's Facebook post with all the evidence. Screenshots. Photos. Receipts. It's all right there, buddy. Your girlfriend was running a whole operation. Kevin stares at the screen. His face cycles through emotions. Confusion, realization, humiliation, finally settles on defeat. She told me I was the only one who understood her. She told everyone that. That's what cheaters do. They make everyone feel special. He sinks into a chair. My wife left me, took the kids, filed for divorce yesterday. Sorry about that, honestly. But that's not my fault, and it's not my problem. What am I supposed to do now? Learn from it. Move on. Try not to sleep with any more married women. He nods miserably and leaves. At the door, he turns back. For what it's worth, I think she really did love you. At least at first. Maybe. But love without respect isn't worth much. After Kevin leaves, Derek raises his coffee cup. To Jake Calloway, who proved sometimes the best revenge is just letting people hang themselves. I'll take that. But the night isn't over yet. At 9:30, just as I'm about to leave, Emma walks into the diner. The whole place goes dead silent, like a Western movie where the villain walks into the saloon. She looks terrible. Hair stringy, greasy, clothes wrinkled like she'd been sleeping in them, eyes red-rimmed and wild. Lost weight, but not healthy weight. The forgot to eat because my life is falling apart kind. She spots me immediately and makes her way across the diner. Swaying slightly, not steady on her feet. Well, 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 she says loud enough for everyone to hear. If it isn't the smartest man in town. Every head turns toward us. Derek's guys exchange looks. The waitress freezes mid-pour. Hello, Emma. You look tired. Tired? She laughs, but it's broken. I'm destroyed, Jake. Completely destroyed. No job, no money, no friends, no reputation. Maya won't return my calls. Lisa blocked me. My own parents barely speak to me. Her voice cracks. Are you happy now? I gesture to the empty chair. Sit down. You're making a scene. Good. Maybe it's time people heard my side. Which side? The one where you're the victim? Or the one where you cheated with multiple men while trying to steal my assets? She drops into the chair hard, nearly misses it entirely. You think you're so clever, setting me up, manipulating everyone, playing your little games. I sent a fruit basket. Everything else was your choice. That basket destroyed my life. No, your behavior destroyed your life. The basket just made it public. She stares at me. Hatred mixed with something almost like respect. How did you even figure it out? She asks finally. I was so careful. Burner phones. Never met anywhere you'd know. Covered every track. You weren't as careful as you thought. But how? What gave it away? I lean back. Study the face I woke up next to for 10 years. The face that smiled at me while lying through her teeth. Remember last month when you said you were at a conference in Raleigh? You came home with a sunburn on your neck. The kind you get at a pool, not in a conference room. Her eyes widen. And when you said you were working late? I drove by the school at 8. Parking lot empty. Your car was at Titan Fitness. You were following me? I was noticing things. There's a difference. The new perfume I never bought you. Phone always face down. Gym bag going everywhere. Even on non-gym days. Little things that add up. Silent stretches. The whole diner is listening openly now. She leans forward. You want the truth? The real truth? Sure. I never loved you. Not really. I married you because you were safe. Stable. Boring. I thought I could build a life with you while finding passion somewhere else. It worked for years. Derek shifts uncomfortably. The waitress gasps. The diner goes dead silent. Everyone's staring. How long? I ask. Since before we got married. Jason in college. Steve from my first job. Paul from the gym before Brandon. You were always the backup plan. The reliable guy who paid the bills while I had my fun. She's just confessed to years of systematic betrayal in front of half the town. Tomorrow everyone will know. But here's the funny thing, she continues, tears flowing now. Somewhere along the way, I actually did start to love you. Something deeper. Something real. And by the time I figured that out, it was too late. I'd already destroyed everything. When did you figure it out? The day you sent the basket. When I saw what you were capable of. How smart you really were. How perfectly you played everything. She wipes her face with her sleeve. I realized I'd been married to someone I didn't even know. Someone better than I deserved. So why didn't you stop? Confess? Try to work things out? Because I'm a coward. Admitting the truth meant admitting I'd wasted 10 years of both our lives. I thought I could still somehow win. Silence again. Longer this time. I finish my coffee and stand up. Emma, what you just said doesn't change anything. It doesn't undo the lies, the cheating, the manipulation. It's too little, too late. I know. Now you get to live with the consequences. I drop a 20 on the table and walk out. Behind me, I can hear her sobbing. Duke's waiting when I get home. He can tell something heavy happened. Rests his head on my knee while I sit on the couch. She never loved me. Not at first. That's gonna take a while to process. But at least now I know the truth. 3 months later. Life's funny sometimes. 3 months ago, I was married to a woman who'd been cheating on me for a decade. Now I'm sitting on my own deck, drinking coffee, watching the sunrise with Duke at my feet. The company's doing better than ever. Turns out, not being distracted by a failing marriage frees up a lot of mental energy. Landed 3 new contracts last month. Had to hire 2 more guys to keep up. Derek shows up at the job site one morning with the local paper. Page 6. You're gonna want to see this. Emma moved to Florida. Starting fresh, according to her sister's Facebook. Translation, she ran away because nobody in town will look her in the eye anymore. Brandon and Nicole finalized their divorce. She got the house, the cars, primary custody. Brandon's working at some budget gym in Raleigh now, living in a studio apartment. The mighty have fallen. Gets better, Derek says, showing me his phone. Kevin Mitchell's wife made him write a public apology letter to you. Posted it on Facebook. Sure enough, there's Kevin explaining how he was manipulated by a predatory woman and apologizing to all the families affected. The comments are brutal. People calling him names, questioning his manhood, suggesting creative punishments. Almost feel sorry for him. Almost. What about Maya and Lisa? I ask. Maya's husband found out she'd been covering for Emma, helped her sneak around, provided alibis. They're separated now. Lisa pretends none of it happened, changes the subject anytime it comes up. All from one fruit basket. Derek laughs. One fruit basket and a thank you card. That's it. Everything else just happened. Bro, I've worked with you 15 years. Seen you plan projects down to the last nail. You're telling me you didn't know exactly what would happen? I don't answer. Just smile and get back to work. That evening, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. Photo of me standing on my deck, taken from across the street. Message, nice view. Enjoy it while it lasts. I screenshot it, forward it to Greg, text back. New phone, who dis? Duke looks up from his bed, tail wagging. Even he knows that was a good line. 20 minutes later, Greg calls. Got your screenshot. Trace the number. Burner phone. But the metadata shows it was taken with Emma's phone model. Filing harassment complaint and requesting restraining order extension. Do it! 2 days later, Emma gets served papers at her sister's house in Florida. Extended restraining order. Any further contact means criminal charges. She doesn't text again. 6 months later, the Henderson renovation wins a regional design award. Company lands 3 new contracts. I hire 2 more crews. Funny how life works. While Emma was cheating, I was so focused on trying to figure out what was wrong that I couldn't see straight. Now that she's gone, I can actually focus. Work, friends, Duke, myself. Started hitting the gym more. Not Titan Fitness. That place is tainted forever. Found a smaller place across town. Lost 15 pounds of stress weight and put on muscle instead. Derek throws a birthday party. And that's where I meet Rachel. Nurse at the local hospital, recently divorced herself. Her ex was a doctor who decided his secretary was more interesting than his wife. Classic story. We talk for 3 hours. About everything. Our jobs, our failed marriages, our favorite movies. When I mention the fruit basket story, she laughs so hard she nearly spills her drink. Wait, you sent a thank you card for private sessions at your home? Even though there weren't any? Creative writing. That's psychological warfare. Is that a problem? She grins. Ask me again after our third date. We have that third date, and a fourth, and a 10th. Rachel's different from Emma in every way that matters. She doesn't need me to be exciting or spontaneous. She actually appreciates the things Emma found boring. I love how you remember things, she tells me one night. Makes me feel like you actually pay attention. Duke loves her too. That's how I know she's the real deal. 1 year later, I'm at the hardware store picking up supplies when I run into Nicole Brooks. She looks good, healthier, happier, put together in a way she wasn't when Brandon was draining her. Jake Calloway, she says, grinning. The man with the fruit basket. Nicole, how's life? Better. Got promoted, bought out Brandon's share of the house, kids are doing great. She pauses. I never properly thanked you. For what? That card. I knew something was off with Brandon for months, but couldn't prove it. Then your basket showed up, and I thought, this guy either knows something or he's the most passive-aggressive husband in America. She laughs. Turns out it was both. I aim to please. Brandon still doesn't understand what happened. Tells everyone you're some mastermind who orchestrated the whole thing. All I did was send a fruit basket. Right. And I'm just a woman who reads cards carefully. She winks. Take care, Jake. I watch her walk away. Feel something I haven't felt in a long time. Closure. That night, Rachel and I are cooking dinner when Mrs. Patterson knocks with a casserole. Heard you two are getting serious, she says, handing it over. Thought I'd bring a proper welcome. Mrs. Patterson, you didn't have to do that. Nonsense! It's the least I can do after all the entertainment you provided. She looks at Rachel. You know about the fruit basket, dear? I've heard the story. Oh, it was magnificent. Best scandal this neighborhood's seen in 40 years. She pats my arm. You picked a good one this time, Jacob. I can tell. After she leaves, Rachel raises her eyebrows. Entertainment? Mrs. Patterson likes to stay informed. She likes to stay informed, or she likes to help things along. I think about the Facebook posts, the screenshots, the perfectly timed drops. Little of both. Rachel shakes her head. I'm never getting on that woman's bad side. Smart move. 18 months later. Wedding invitation arrives. Brandon Brooks is getting married again. Some woman from his new gym. The invite is addressed to Jake Calloway and guest. Rachel reads it over my shoulder. Is this a joke? Has to be. Are you going to respond? I think about it for 2 seconds. Yeah. I'm going to send him a gift. Rachel's eyes go wide. Jake, no. What? I'm just being supportive. You are not sending another fruit basket. I was thinking towels, with a card that says, hope this one works out better than the last one. She grabs the invitation and tears it in half. We're not responding. We're pretending this never arrived. You're no fun. I'm plenty of fun. I'm also smart enough to know you don't poke sleeping bears. She's right. I know she's right. But that night, I grab my phone and pull up Mrs. Patterson's number. Jacob, it's nearly midnight. Quick question. You still have that Facebook account? Pause. Then a delighted cackle. What did you have in mind, dear? I tell her. She laughs for a solid minute. Oh, Jacob, you're a terrible influence on an old woman. Is that a yes? That's a definitely. 2 weeks later, Brandon's new fiancée discovers a very interesting Facebook post from Nicole Brooks. Screenshots, receipts, detailed timeline of how Brandon treated his first marriage. The post gets shared 847 times before Brandon can get it taken down. Wedding postponed indefinitely. Derek calls me the next day. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Me? Been busy with the Morrison project all month? Right. And Mrs. Patterson just happened to share that post to every wedding vendor group in the county. Mrs. Patterson is a concerned citizen who believes in informed consent. Derek shakes his head. You're a menace, Jake. I'm a guy who sends fruit baskets. Everything else is coincidence. Rachel finds out 3 days later. Turns to me with a look that's half exasperation, half admiration. The Facebook post. That was you. No idea what you're talking about. Mrs. Patterson shared it from a brand new account. 0 friends. 1 post. Created the same day. Sounds like a coincidence. Jake. What? Maybe Nicole wanted to warn the fiancé. Maybe Mrs. Patterson has free time. Maybe the universe has a sense of justice. She stares at me for a long moment. You're terrifying. You know that? I prefer thorough. She sighs, then kisses me. Promise me something. What? If I ever do something that makes you want to send a fruit basket, just tell me directly. I'd rather have the conversation than the consequences. I pull her close. Duke wanders over and rests his head against both our legs. Family portrait right there. Deal. But you're not the fruit basket type. What type am I? The forever type. She smiles against my chest. Smooth. I learned from the best. Who? Brandon? I laugh. Definitely not Brandon. Outside, Mrs. Patterson's porch light flickers on. She waves through the window, gives me a thumbs up. I wave back. Some people never learn. Brandon didn't. Emma didn't. Kevin definitely didn't. But me? I learned exactly one thing that matters. The best revenge isn't loud, it's not violent, it's not even angry. The best revenge is a fruit basket, a thank you card, and a 73-year-old woman with a Facebook account. Everything else takes care of itself. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel and help us bring you more and better stories. Thanks.